So let's talk a little bit about AI, artificial intelligence, and how this is a unique opportunity for you, I actually believe, in 2026 and beyond to learn AI, but learn it the right and proper way. Number one, and I say this because I write a lot of emails. That's my preferred way of selling. Also, of course, I'm selling through videos, but I'm doing them unscripted. I'm not doing them by editing using AI or whatever. I could probably, if I would have, I could probably have recorded like a raw footage like this video and then glossed it up and pretended that I had like this grandiose studio behind me instead of this boring ass white wall. But guess what? That would have been fake. It just would have. It would have been glossed over. People would have realized. Because here's what you have to understand. When you're marketing to, let's say you want to market to 18, 20-year-old boys who they're all obsessed with being rich and jacked and handsome and strong, what are you doing? You're showing footage of yourself and others going to the gym, maybe a fight gym, maybe sparring, maybe from your fight. You're dressing up well, you're smoking a cigar, you're counting money, counting cash, you're driving around in a Lambo or another fancy car, and you're living this jet set lifestyle that these young kids want to live. Now think about it. If you're marketing to this age group, you're marketing to a bunch of brokies. If you're marketing to people who actually have money, you need to listen to those people who have money and what they want to see. Now, I don't claim to have the answer to everything. I do claim to have the answer to marketing to people who just want to see authenticity and uniqueness. That's why I'm marketing using this boring ass white wall. I could have opened up behind this pulled down curtain. There is a window. I could have pulled up and showed you the background, but that would have been distracting. Because I don't want any distractions. I want you to listen and consume my message. So there shouldn't be any distractions. That's why. I could have walked outside and, showed you what it's like where I live. But number one, I don't like people knowing exactly where I live because of privacy. Number two, that would have been distracting. And number three, it would just have looked so fake because there's plenty of other people who are doing it. My point is, you need to develop that unique angle. And that's what I have. I have this unique angle because I'm showing you the raw, crude footage, what it's really like, and how most people, including the rich, by the way, have it. Now, what separates me from the ordinary is usually I'm just dressed in this pretty much plain black or sometimes gray or whatever, or marine blue sweater, or I'm dressed in exercising clothes, gym wear, simply because I work out a lot. I train a lot in the gym. And so that's practical. Here's the point that I'm making, and the very reason why I'm spending such an excessive amount of telling you about the way that I market, simply because I want to distinguish myself from my competition. There's plenty of other people who talk about sales and persuasion, but there's hardly anybody who talks about it from my unique angle. I could have been out there and showed you proof, but in the age of AI, everything can be forged and faked. I just told you. I could have probably used some app, or even better, I could have written an app using Claude or ChatGPT or Grok or Perplexity or Gemini or whatever sort of LLM or AI agent software, whatever they're called, and pretended like this was recorded in some vintage old room with a library behind and a stove and like a study and this classic mansion out in the countryside. And you know what would have happened? People would have listened to me, not so much because they wanted to listen to the words that I was saying, but because they wanted to see the fancy ass backgrounds. This is the same mistake that these people who market to these young ass teenagers are doing. These teenagers are watching their videos because it's cool to watch the videos. They don't really care about the words. Because if you just look at these videos, these people basically regurgitate the same kind of crap. Or crap in the sense that it's regurgitated. It's repetitive. It's the same sort of cliches and logic, oftentimes circular logic, and there's no depth and no nuance. And here's also another thing. I think a lot of that is AI as well. Because here's my point. Here's the punchline that I'm getting to with respect to AI. AI is brilliant as a tool, but it can't replace currently, and we shall see how well this ages, by the way, but it can't replace human think and human feel and human empathy and human touch. There is no depth. It's all shallow. It's all superficial. And that's why you can easily read an AI generated text. Yes, it's able to articulate itself well in terms of grammar and what's the word I'm looking for here? Grammar and semantics and, linguistically being correct. But there is no human emotion to it. It's all fluff. It's all fluff and dandruff, essentially. Empty filler words. That's what it is. There is no depth to it. There is no substance. There's nothing. And you can just sense it. It's as boring and plain as this white wall behind me, which is kind of self-contradictory, if you know what I mean, but still, I don't really care, because the idea is this white background is meant to be plain and boring so that you won't get distracted, but instead you're listening to my message. That is the complete and utter point. If I were a rich billionaire and I would have given you the recipe for making billions of dollars in three simple sentences, then you wouldn't have cared if there was a plain white wall behind me or not. You really wouldn't, because you would have paid attention to these 3 sentences. Now, I doubt there is any billionaire in the world who's going to share that secret with you. Maybe. I mean, full confession, I'm not a billionaire yet. We shall see whether I become one or not. Probably not. However, I'm sharing a lot of the insights that I've heard from other legit millionaires. I haven't been around a billionaire as of yet. We shall see if I frequent around one or not. But you get the idea. Anyway, as long as you understand this long-winded introduction to AI and how you can take away the persuasion and sales aspect from a human and outsource it to an AI, then you're in luck if you understand that. Instead, you're going to use AI for something productive. As in, if you have a large archive and you need to, do some research, there's 10,000 pages and you need to find the page or the pages that are about, a certain construction process or whatever. But AI is brilliant for doing that. I even heard about some guy who said that he would capture a photo of a power socket that he wanted to do the wiring to. And he would ask the AI, hey, this power socket looks like that. What sort of wires should I put where? What are their colors? And what do I need to pay extra attention to? And the AI would just give him like this bucket list of things to remember. That's a brilliant way of using AI. Also, and I'm kind of torn on this, but vibe coding, building apps, building websites, building landing pages, building funnels, whatever, all that kind of stuff. You can just use AI. Now, if you're a programmer and you have some coding background, that probably doesn't hurt, because I'm assuming, but by the way, I'm not a coder at all. I know very, very basic coding. But AI is very, very beneficial for doing these manual labor tasks. Anything that doesn't involve human emotions, which is why my prediction is, by the way, this is just totally unrelated, but I just felt like throwing it in there, is if you want a proper job in the future of AI, then you should elect up to become a nurse and take care of the sick, because nobody wants a robot to treat them. Maybe surgeons and doctors are going to be replaced because the AI and the robots can probably do a surgery much better than what a flawed human can. But a nurse to take care of the sick and and ill, the patients, nobody wants a robot. Everybody wants a nurse. Even a manly nurse would have been better than a robot. Anyway, point being, this is where persuasion comes in, and this is where the human aspect of persuasion comes in, and why it's so important, and why I believe that it will ultimately trump over AI with respect to sales and persuasion. And that'll be it. If you want to learn more about persuasion for business and so on, then get subscribed to my email list. The link to do so is in the episode description wherever you're watching and or listening to this, and I'll see you there.